Hello, friends, and welcome to the Cinemondo podcast with those two.
Who?
And
Who are these people?
The usual crew, Kathy, Mark, and Burk. Thanks, everybody, for joining us as always. You know, we've crossed 40,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. That's
So
wonderful.
exciting to hit that. I
And-
just never thought we would. It's so
Yeah.
cool. It's very cool.
I
Thanks, you
know.
guys.
And we do all kinds of movies, but kind of near and dear to our heart is this guy, the big guy.
Who doesn't love the big guy?
The big guy who's been around forever,
So cute.
and he's just a staple, and especially from our fine folks at Toho, the 37th Godzilla film, and it's coming out. I think it's coming out November 3rd in Japan. I'm not sure when it's going to come here to the
Damn
United
it, I
States.
hate when they do that.
We might have to wait a bit for that one.
It's called Godzilla Minus One, or Godzilla Minus One.
Ooh, very interesting. All right, because this is a teaser, right? Because it's
This
a
is
little
a
ways
teaser.
out.
This is
Okay.
this is just like a short one, but just give
All
us an idea of the feel of this film. So
Give us
First
a little
look.
taste.
yeah,
All right.
Cool. Shall we
Yeah.
just jump right on in?
We'll jump in.
let's
Okay.
do it.
See Godzilla.
And
Godzilla Minus One.
Get him, Godzilla. That was
Yeah.
that was a great teaser. Holy shit.
I
that was
love the Japanese Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
You know, the American ones they're good, and I mean, I'll watch them.
great. Yeah.
They're nicely made American style movies, but
Mhm.
there's something about the sensibility of Japanese filmmakers who
Mhm.
grew up in this in the world of, you know, the Toho Godzilla giant monster kaiju films.
Yep.
They get it. They understand it because it's part of such a integral part of their entertainment culture. And there's something about even just the scenes we saw here, which was like these brief little nothing scenes. There's something that gives you kind of goosebumps about it.
Yeah.
Just the way that it's presented to us with such mystery. Even though we've seen Godzilla a zillion times stomping and knocking down buildings and stuff, we look at this one and you're like, oh, this looks so cool.
Yeah. Well,
I know,
this one takes place in the 40s, post-war. So obviously Japan has just had two atomic bombs, as everybody's been talking about Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
So the fallout of that.
Yes, that's good
So
timing.
so all of a sudden, Godzilla appears after this horrific thing.
Yeah.
And so you're already in this heightened state of just trauma and warning. And then all of a sudden this, monster comes from somewhere, maybe because of the atomic blast, and comes.
Definitely.
So it's just like, wow, now what?
Godzilla always shows up when humans are at their worst, doing shit like dropping bombs or destroying the planet. Like he comes in to go, hello, don't.
This one, I'll say this one, the very first Godzilla, the one that we saw that has Raymond Burr's, the Americanized version, but if you see the
1954.
right, Nishiro Honda's film, it's just a beautifully made, great music. I have a feeling this one seems like kind of goes back to that vibe a little bit, of course with modern effects and this and that, but that very serious, scary Godzilla, like what is this thing, as opposed to the later ones. I'm hoping that's what they're going for, but I don't know.
And yet another Godzilla reboot, which I'm all for. I mean, some people are so protective of their pop culture that they're like, no, it should not be tampered with my childhood. No, I mean,
those are always there. You can always watch
those.
You've got 37 Godzilla movies to watch. To reboot the character is a great idea. I think it's a character that obviously has withstood the test of time, and people still want to see a Godzilla movie. I mean, recently, a couple of years back, we had Shin Godzilla, which was a total reboot and almost a total stylistic reboot.
That was so cool.
And it was such a great
So good
movie, such a fun, weird, almost funny in some ways movie, and yet super powerful and definitely a Godzilla kaiju film.
But it had the politics in it, so it brought some the world of politics and how do you deal with
what do you deal with it with the bureaucracy? In the meantime, is running around wreaking havoc with all the other monsters Godzilla's trying to protect us from.
And interestingly, the very first Godzilla movie in 1954 had a bit of that bureaucracy stuff in it too, where people were wasting time saying which policy should we enact here in order to deal with this tragic situation. It's like, okay, while you're talking, Godzilla is destroying the city, and
so I just like really short clips, but really kind of horrific. The little girl sort of scared, and there's just stomping, and just really cool stuff.
The sound of him walking toward, but they don't see him yet, and also it's like, bam, there he is. Woo!
Always great. So I hope this comes to the U.S. To the theaters because it looks like a big film, and it's a pretty cool poster.
I love the poster. It's a big G and then minus 1.0. Like that's really cool.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
So is that like a minus, like a prequel idea? In other words, not chapter 1, but minus chapter minus 1.
Going almost back before the first Godzilla, like Godzilla before when he was a baby, maybe.
I don't know. Like I thought of 0 minus 1, like 0 being ground zero. Minus, I don't know. I thought
minus 1.0 though. It's like,
it's
what does that mean?
Yeah, that's cool. But I love the way they have that. You can see that they bring in the production value inside the G. Yeah. So you're getting like they didn't just go pure graphic because they wanted to show you that Godzilla is in this movie. Yeah, full-fledged Godzilla. It's high production. It's not going to be silly. It's going to be a serious Godzilla movie. So when does this come out? November? You said?
November 3rd in Japan. Okay. I'm not sure about the U.S. release.
Interesting.
Yeah. So coming. So we'll see. I like it.
That poster looks like Godzilla's got some really big,
the big
spikes on his back.
They're going to be dangerous.
So a bit of a redesign there because the Shin Godzilla had the really tiny arms, which at first when I saw it, I was like, his arms look too little.
Yeah.
But then when I saw the film, it was, you kind of get, it's like, okay, he doesn't really need his arms very much.
You need arms. He has his teeth and then beam. That's all. His tail.
And those big feet that he uses to smush stuff. Yeah.
He just looked like in this clip, he looks like a real scary Godzilla, which is what.
Mark, I'm not getting scared off this. I think Godzilla's always been cute. I love how cute Godzilla is. I will never believe anything else.
Oh, I want him to be scary.
Yeah, 1969 Godzilla was very cute and
very cute.
Yeah,
he had a son. He had a little son that he was teaching how to blow smoke rings.
He's not the bad guy. That's what we figured out. He's trying to save the world, but we're not. We're doing our best to destroy it. So that's kind of his ultimate thing. He comes out when we're doing the really dumb shit.
Well, it's not like we don't deserve it, but
that's what I'm saying.
I want him to be a guy. If I'm living in Tokyo and he's stomping around, I want him to be scary to me.
Well, that's what it's always represented to me. It's like what Mark was saying, what Kathy's saying, that indifference of nature, the strength of nature. I mean, when you go swimming in a rough ocean, the ocean is not going to protect you and comfort you. It is going to smash you against the rocks.
Yeah, nature's just doing its thing.
Right.
That's what happens in nature, and it does that for a reason. I mean, it does that to create the world. I mean, that's how processes happen in nature. Things go around in circles and whatnot, and there are destructive forces in nature. And I think that's what Godzilla always represented, was that sort of indifference of nature.
Yeah.
It's like you're fucking with us with bombs. Guess what? Here's the way we're going to protect ourselves or something.
The planet.
And I feel like nature is not malevolent. It's just nature. Whereas I feel like humans are. And the problem is we think we're in control. We do terrible things to each other. We do terrible things to animals on the planet. We do it because we're not being good. And it's not for survival. We hunt for fun. Like people do that stuff. But nature is just nature, not evil or bad. It's just doing its nature thing. We're the evil element that's being added into nature. So Godzilla will teach us a lesson.
He has to come every so often and remind us.
That's right. Remind us who's in charge. All right. Let us know what you guys think about Godzilla. What's your favorite Godzilla movie? I'd like to know that. Like to know.
Yeah, I think that's a good question. Maybe that's a whole episode.
Yeah, that would be a good episode, actually. Let us know in the comments which ones you would suggest that we look at and we'll compare. All right.
Smog monster, everybody. All right.
Smog monster.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.